What's up guys, Blademaster here, going to be bringing you Unit Band Beta Round 1 Game 1 between Noobez and Asseror. Noobez is from the FG clan, Asseror is from the VM clan. This is going to be a match between two relatively skilled players, I think, in Total War Rome 2. We've seen Asseror play before in Unit Band EX, where he lost to, I believe, DDG in the not DDG, someone else. Maybe it was DDG in the semifinals. Or was it? I don't know. Anyways, in Unit Band Beta, the brackets will be provided as a comment, as my comment. Noobez was at the top of the bracket. So as you guys know, top of the bracket gets the first faction and map choice. So what is different in Unit Band Beta to Unit Band EX is that you can only use a faction once in the tournament. So considering that all the games are going to be at least a best of 3, you're really going to have to choose your factions very wisely. So we are probably going to see a lot of underpowered factions duke it out between relatively skilled players in the early stages of the tournament, which is always exciting to see. Shows the versatility of players as well, which is, I think, a crucial component of judging how good a player is in Total War. So Noobez has decided to go ahead and bring Carthage as his faction, and decided to go with Armavir, and he picked the wrong side of Armavir, which is a mistake that we saw Johannes VB do in the first round, or sorry, in the semifinals against Trolley, I believe. So Carthage and Armavir. Asseror, on the other hand, decided to ban the Carthaginian Cavalry and the Thorax swords, the Libyan Infantry, and he decided to go ahead and pick Syracuse. Sorry, this is Carthage. Okay, so this is Noobez, and Noobez definitely picked the right side then. Okay, cool. And this is Asseror right here, who brought Syracuse as a counter pick. So Carthaginians don't have access to Libyan infantry and don't have access to Carthaginian cavalry, which is why you see them bring these mercenary Iberian cavalry on the other hand. For Syracuse, the Thorax swords are banned, and very strangely, the picked Hoplites are banned. So what I would have done in Noobez's stead would have either banned. If I was in Noobez's position, he has the upper hand right now. He knows that he doesn't have access to his mainline infantry of Libyans, and he doesn't have access to Carthaginian cavalry. So what I would have done is ban the Thorax Hoplites for 710 talents and the Thorax Swordsmen, because at the most only 3 mercenary Samnites can be brought because they're mercenaries, and I can do the same thing with Carthage. I can bring 3 mercenary Samnites of my own, and then I can bring my mercenary Scutari cavalry, and I don't need to be worried about a Thorax Hoplite main line. Thorax Hoplites are very strong, very cost-effective infantry. So I would have faced up against a pretty depleted Syracusan force, and I would have had a big advantage with Carthage, because Carthage would still be able to bring mercenary Scutari, would still be able to bring the mercenary Samnites, would still be able to bring all the low-tier infantry that makes Carthage very strong, low-tier melee infantry, and of course I can bring Carthaginian Hoplites, who would actually face up pretty well in that situation against a very depleted Syracusan force. But at the very least, it's going to prove for a pretty cool historical battle, I believe. I'm really shit at history, but I believe like Carthage and Syracuse were like not the best of buddies. So let's take a look at the builds. We are looking at it from Asseror's point of view, so we can see Asseror's army pretty clearly. We can see a couple of mercenary Etruscan Hoplites, one on either flank. These guys are not the greatest, but they have pretty deadly anti-cavalry purposes with their 20 bonus versus cavalry. But they were solely brought for the purposes of having numbers of pretty strong infantry, strong hoplites. Wow, I didn't notice this before. The mercenary Etruscan hoplites have 65 health compared to only 60 of the Thorax hoplites. But the Thorax Hoplites have 5 more armor, but I think the extra health plays a much bigger role. Here you can see Asseror is already circling around Noobez. This is not looking good. Let's go ahead and look at the rest of Asseror's army. We can see 4 Thorax Hoplites and 3 mercenary Samnite warriors. Very deadly spear and melee infantry composition here. Only 3 slingers, cheap slingers brought. But will trade. Looking at this, they've traded so cost effectively against these mercenary Balearic slingers. We can see another mercenary Samnite warrior over here, and it looks like 1, 2, 3 citizen cavalry and a couple of mercenary Tarentine, Yeah, Tarentine cavalry. For the Carthaginians, we see 3 Carthaginian Hoplites, 4 Carthaginian Hoplites, a couple of mercenary Balearic Slingers, one of whom is getting slaughtered despite being not only having a downhill advantage, but also in the middle of the forest. But they're just getting gangbanged by 4 Slingers, not 3. The other mercenary Balearic Slinger only getting 32 kills. This mercenary Balearic has already shattered and only got 8 kills in the process. Talk about a non-cost effective engagement. Here, the Carthaginian Hoplites will actually do well against these Thorax Hoplites because not only did they get a slightly downhill charge, but they've also popped Hoplite Phalanx earlier. So they will do well, I think. I think they'll do very well because the Hoplite Phalanx gives you a 5 bonus versus cavalry. Here, oh wow, Tarentine cavalry got smashed by the mercenary Gallic warriors. A couple of Gallic warriors brought here, a couple of mercenary Italian, 1 mercenary Italian swordsmen, 3 mercenary Gallic warriors, a couple of mercenary Iberian cavalry, 2 mercenary noble fighters from probably the strongest component of the infantry for noobs, and that's about it. No Scutari and no mercenary Samnites. Very strange. Late Libyan Hoplite over here. Meanwhile, ooh, there we go, tradition. So mercenary Iberian cavalry got caught here. Mercenary Iberian cavalry are a unit that you should never ever bring. Probably going to be the downfall for Noobez if he does lose. But the mercenary noble fighters who already have a single experience chevron. This is a very unoptimized army brought by Noobez. The mercenary noble fighters will do well, but they're very lackluster in terms of their staying power. Here, ooh, a brilliant rear charge from these mercenary Iberian cavalry, making great use of their increased speed. But there's nothing to stop. There's nothing stopping them from getting slaughtered by the Slingers from behind. Already gotten 14 kills from Thorax Hoplites though, but they are dropping very quickly, and these Thorax Hoplites are coming in to support. So they're going to try and pull through their own men. Here, Carthaginian Hoplites got charged at by Citizen Cav, but the Citizen Cav have taken tons of damage from there. But the Thorax Hoplites, I think they didn't get. It wasn't like the Carthaginians were flattened. So all in all, it looks like Noobez is getting a very decent set of engagements here so far. But this mercenary noble fighter, I'm pretty concerned about it because, and this mercenary Gallic warrior is used very suboptimally. He should be turning around. He should be fighting into the Citizen Cav using their precursor javelins. These mercenary noble fighters have gotten 60 kills so far on mercenary Tuscan Hoplites and Samnite warriors. Here you can see the Hoplite wall bug. They're not facing up against the right opponent, just looking all sorts of retarded. Carthaginian Hoplite has gotten 63 kills so far, and a second Thorax Hoplite is winning only slightly because mercenary Gallic warriors have come in to support there. Carthaginian Hoplite is here attacked in the rear by these Citizen Cav. All in all, it looks like the tankiness of the Citizen Cav is proving to be better than the mercenary Iberian cavalry. Balearic Slingers already gotten 57 kills, but all in all, not worth it. There's a full strength mercenary Iberian cavalry going around the sides. The Citizen Cav can very easily take this engagement and win because the Iberian cavalry have swords and don't have spears in melee, so they don't have a cavalry bonus, whereas the Citizen Cav of course do. The Tarentine Cav can be pretty useful here, getting a gen snipe, but they can also rear charge. Their medium mass will actually prove to be pretty useful there. Thorax Hoplites have finished off that Carthaginian Hoplite, and now they're about to rear charge this Carthaginian Hoplite. Again, questioning the decision of bringing Carthaginian Hoplites instead of the Samnites and Scutari mix. Mercenary noble fighters getting slaughtered by Slingers. Brilliantly done. Holy shit, brilliantly done by Asseror. Keeping them on the sides, getting downhill shots because their arc will be much more optimized there. And look at how brilliantly he's done with them. 73 kills, 66 kills. These are the shittiest Slingers in the game. And they're so cheap. And against relatively armored infantry and Balearic Slingers, he's managed to do amazing with them. Just really, really well done. Hats off. The other 2 Slingers haven't done much, but again, that's just, that's par for the course for regular Slingers. Thorax Hoplite General and a mercenary Samnite warrior is getting destroyed by a mercenary noble fighter, unsurprisingly. But mercenary noble fighters, I haven't seen them pop headhunt so far. The mercenary Gallic warriors have been attacked in the rear. All in all, it doesn't look very good for Noobez right now because the Carthaginian Hoplites main line has proved to be his downfall here, and the fact that these Slingers were used so well by Asseror. Mercenary Gallic warriors not fighting here, not sure what's going on. No attack order issued is what I would guess. These Thorax Hoplites, despite being ganged up on, have somehow managed to hold out for long enough so that these the flanks would eventually be flattened by the combination of Slingers. So really, while the Slingers did brilliantly and Asseror has performed very well with his Slingers, a lot has to be said for the sheer tankiness of the Thorax Hoplites, that they managed to withstand rear charges from Iberian Cavalry and support from mercenary Gallic warriors and hold the center long enough for the Slingers to move around and fire into the sides and then win him the flanks that way. So, but now there are a lot of mercenary Gallic warriors, and but look at the amount of Syracusans here. The mercenary Iberian Cavalry proving to be a waste here, and the Carthaginian Hoplites, of course, are going to be a waste compared to the much better Thorax Hoplites that Syracuse can wield. So ultimately, the poor ban choices by Noobez has cost him the game. Not only that, but it's also the fact that he didn't bring the right army against Asseror. He definitely picked the right map. He had a pretty nice downhill slope with forest protection. That said, I mean, you know, again, these Slingers, they have done probably the best use of cheap Slingers after that, after the Massilia versus Rome match with DDG that I've seen. So very well played by Asseror here. And now these Slingers, 57 kills, these Slingers being pulled back and getting rear shots on mercenary Gallic warriors who don't have great armor, and the Syracusans are going to come in to help out here. Just rounding up the last bits of this match. Oh, that sneaky screenshot though. My screenshots, my emergency screenshot skills have been improving, I think. Come on, get me some. Oh man, I was about to get a second screenshot. Costly victory to Asseror, but very well played. You don't see these numbers of kills with Slingers, especially against Carthage. I would never bring mercenary noble fighters ever, and this match is again proven why they're so poor. Against this sort of army, you would expect them to get. You would expect a melee infantry unit of their price to get a lot more kills. But the fact that they don't have shield wall, the fact that they have very poor weapon damage, I believe, is the reason why they would always perform suboptimally, I think. Yeah, only 41 weapon damage versus, I think, 45 weapon damage. Let's see how much AP is on these guys. 5 AP, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same. 36 and 5, yeah. If at least if the 41 was like 8 AP or something, that would be really cool. But it's not. And all in all, the fact that they have shit armor, their charge bonus is so brilliant though. 38 charge bonus is really nice. But yeah, their armor of 75 versus 80. The fact that, yeah, shield wall, man, shield wall is such a big thing. Just always means that those guys will perform suboptimally. Anyways, guys, that's the end of game 1. Let's see if Noobez can bring it back in game 2, and you guys stay tuned for that. Peace.